All it took was one sharp fact, check moment, and the glossy, untouchable shine around Ellen DeGeneres cracked wide open.
Turned 30.
I did.
And how was the party? I wasn't invited.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen. You were invited.
That single slip hit hard, and suddenly the charm everyone believed in didn't look so bulletproof anymore. The internet lit up fast with savage viral clapbacks, and people started dragging out years of quiet talk about how Ellen really treated her staff when the cameras were off.
Told from the very beginning, don't talk to Ellen, don't do this, you can't, go into her office. We all walked on eggshells all the time.
What used to be whispers turned loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. Sadly, this wasn't just a quick PR mess-up that could be cleaned overnight. It snowballed into a ruthless fall, pushing her from top-tier fame straight toward the edge of relevance. See, when Ellen DeGeneres first blew up and took over the scene, it was all built on humor and likability. That playful vibe was her whole brand.
I think I need cue cards, but every single thing I'm saying is on the cue card. For instance, excuse me, my throat is so dry. Let me show you right here. We have...
Once that image cracked, everything else started shaking too. After crawling back from a brutal sitcom shutdown that followed her coming out, Ellen flipped the script and rebuilt her image from the ground up. She rebranded herself as the queen of daytime polish on the Ellen DeGeneres show, serving up awkward but cute moments with a young Taylor Swift early in her career, that famous dancing energy, and non-stop gift giveaways that had crowds losing it.
Hold on to your Cheerios, because all of you are splitting $1 million.
It didn't take long before Ellen was crowned America's sweetheart queen. Think Oprah vibes, but way more sugar on top and way less edge. By the 2000s, she had locked in a full-blown Be Kind empire, built on poking playful, sometimes uncomfortable jokes at big-name celebrities while keeping things light, glossy, and TV safe.
Terrified of porcelain dolls.
I heard that.
All right. My wife, come on, stop, man.
Oh, why would you say this photo? That was the wingspan.
No, my friends used this photo to make fun of me.
The image looked flawless on the surface, but some folks started asking questions anyway. That cheerful brand was everywhere, but not everyone was buying the sweetness anymore. See, to Ellen, she felt untouchable, until she suddenly wasn't. Her fall didn't kick off with some wild scandal, but with one quiet, uncomfortable guest moment that flipped everything upside down. During an interview with Dakota Johnson, what should have been light banter turned tense when Ellen low-key, passive-aggressively accused Dakota of not inviting her to a birthday party.
Yeah.
But I did invite you and you didn't come, so.
This time you invited me?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How do you know? I don't think so.
Ask everybody.
Oh yeah, I had that thing.
Dakota didn't panic, didn't laugh it off, didn't dodge it. She blinked, leaned in, and calmly fact-checked Ellen straight into embarrassment on live TV. That was the exact second the curtain slipped, and everyone watching felt it. The comments went crazy after that. People wrote things like, Ellen is so awkward in this interview, it seems she just got owned by Dakota. Others said, this is one of the most epic reverse cards I've ever seen, and I'm glad she called Ellen out for being fake. The vibe was clear, and the internet wasn't letting it slide. Then more receipts started floating around. Extra details suggested Ellen had actually skipped Dakota's birthday for what looked like a harmless hangout with former President George W. Bush. Critics instantly questioned that friendship, especially because of Bush's past policies and how they impacted LGBTQ+ rights. Ellen pushed back on the backlash, defending the connection and stating,
Here's the thing, I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that that's okay, that we're all different.
But what came next was a full-blown collapse, and the public view of Ellen DeGeneres took a sharp dive fast.
When I say be kind to one another, I don't mean only the people that think the same way that you do. I mean be kind to everyone.
The turning point hit when comedian Kevin T. Porter dropped a tweet that exploded everywhere. He wrote, right now, we all need a little kindness, like Ellen DeGeneres always talks about. She's also notoriously one of the meanest people alive. Reply with the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean. That single post cracked the floodgates wide open. Thousands of replies poured in, and together they painted a picture that looked nothing like her cheerful TV image. The stories stacked up quick, and the contrast was loud, uncomfortable, and impossible to ignore. One of the wildest responses came from Twitter user Chris Farah. She shared a story about working at Real Food Daily and serving Ellen during a brunch shift.
Get to talk to you. She emailed the owner of the restaurant and complained about your chipped nail polish.
What?
And I was like...
According to her, Ellen later wrote a letter to the restaurant owner complaining about her chipped nail polish, not because it touched the food, not because it caused any issue, but simply because it existed on the server's hand. Chris explained she had worked late the night before and came in early the next morning, and that complaint nearly cost her her job. The story hit hard, and it didn't end there. She later backed it all up in an interview with Inside Edition, making the backlash even louder and harder to dismiss. And just when the internet backlash was already blazing out of control, Ellen poured even more fuel on the situation herself. She made things worse by posting something that instantly rubbed people the wrong way and sent the outrage spinning even faster. Yeah.
From being in quarantine is that people, this is like being in jail, is what it is. It's mostly because I've been wearing the same clothes for 10 days and everyone in here is gay.
I can't imagine how awful it would be to be quarantined in a $27 million mansion. Can celebrities stop trying to be relatable? Like, no one relates to you. But before the public could even blink, BuzzFeed dropped what felt like a full-on digital bombshell. They published a report packed with allegations from former employees who described a toxic work environment behind the scenes of the Ellen DeGeneres show.
And she would laugh, because I was hoping she was going to say, Ed, you can't be yelling at crew this way. You can't. She laughed and she said, every production needs their dog.
Meaning
Ed is her dog.
With claims pointing to racism, fear-driven leadership, and non-stop intimidation, the story spread fast and hit hard.
Yeah, I thought something was going on that because it was too orchestrated, it was too coordinated. And
one audience member, Dana D'Amato, stepped forward and shared her own disturbing experience on the show, adding even more weight to the growing backlash and making the situation look way darker than anyone expected.
You can't be smarter, funnier than Ellen. She's the comedian and the star, not you. Turn the cameras off, she would not even acknowledge the audience.
Celebrities like Brad Garrett and Lee Thompson stepped up and publicly backed the claims, saying this behavior wasn't new at all. They made it clear that behind the scenes, this side of Ellen had been around for years, not just recently. Soon after, another BuzzFeed report dropped, digging even deeper and laying out more detailed accounts from staff who described a workplace filled with pressure, fear, and strict control that left many feeling uneasy and worn down, fired after taking medical leave or bereavement days to attend family funerals. One employee who claimed she was fed up with comments about her race essentially walked off the job. That be kind. Bullshit only happens when the cameras are on. It's all for show. I know they give money to people and help them out, but it's for show. Then things got even darker. Ellen's executive producer, Ed Glavin, was hit with serious allegations of sexual misconduct, and that news shook everything even harder. What once felt like whispers turned into non-stop headlines overnight. Hashtag battles exploded everywhere, with hashtag replace Ellen taking over Twitter and spreading like wildfire. The so-called Queen of Kindness was suddenly being compared to a villain instead of a fairy tale hero, and the tone online was ruthless. When Ellen finally returned to the show, she addressed the controversy with what many people called a polished, Hollywood-style apology. It sounded careful and rehearsed, but for a lot of viewers, the damage already felt done. She cracked a few jokes before saying she was a work in progress, while the audience clapped on cue, stiff and awkward like they didn't have much choice.
Changing their title or giving yourself a nickname, do not go with the Be Kind lady. Don't do it.
The moment felt forced.
I am that person that you see on TV. I am a work in progress.
And the energy in the room was impossible to miss. Still, her damage control didn't land the way she hoped. A lot of people felt the response was weak and carefully scripted, not real accountability. By early 2021, the Ellen DeGeneres show had bled over 1 million viewers, and that once untouchable empire started falling apart in real time. Then came the final blow. In May, DeGeneres announced the show would end after its 19th season, shocking longtime fans but not surprising critics. And when asked whether the non-stop controversies played a role in that decision,
I am announcing that next season, season 19, is going to be my last season. And I am forever grateful to all of you for watching, for laughing, for dancing, sometimes crying.
Ellen visibly struggled to find the right word. She thinks she made the decision to cancel the show. That's adorable. This is like resigning before being fired. See, in a clear attempt to stay relevant, Ellen tried switching lanes and went back to stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I got kicked out of show business. Yeah, because I'm mean.
Dropped a Netflix special titled For Your Approval, hoping humor could reset the narrative. In the special, she joked about the allegations, brushing them off in a light, self-aware tone like it was all just overblown drama. But former staffers weren't laughing at all. They slammed the special, saying it completely misrepresented their real experiences and dodged any kind of real accountability. To them, it felt more like deflection than reflection. Once the so-called post-Ellen era kicked in, public interest dropped fast.
How could you not know? And if you didn't know, should you have known?
I don't know how I could have known when there's 255 employees here.
The ratings for the stand-up special told the story loud and clear, and the headlines didn't show mercy. Critics labeled it bizarre, unfunny, and painfully self-pitying. Still, she kept pushing forward, trying to reinvent herself yet again by launching a digital lifestyle platform called ED by Ellen. But the buzz just wasn't hitting like it used to. But once the internet machine fully turned on her, the relevance dried up fast and kindness stopped working as her currency. The same networks that once boosted Ellen DeGeneres to the top now moved on without looking back. Almost overnight, her influence collapsed and the spotlight shifted elsewhere. By the end of 2024, DeGeneres quietly relocated to the UK, making it clear she had no real plans to return to the US. The exit felt final, low-key, and worlds away from the powerhouse image she once ruled with. And just like that, the story that once dominated daytime TV quietly faded from the spotlight. No grand comeback, no redemption tour, just a slow disappearance from the pop culture conversation. The same audience that once celebrated Ellen every afternoon had already moved on, chasing new faces and new drama. What remained was a cautionary tale about image versus reality, and how fast public favor can flip when the curtain gets pulled back. In the end, the silence spoke louder than any monologue ever could. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into influencer and media industry drama, power abuse behind the scenes. And the stories that don't get talked about enough, this story might be over on TV, but online, it's far from finished, and the next one is already lining up. I'll see you in the next video.